The Kortz Center Heist has been out for a couple of days now, and I keep seeing the same comments. The lasers in the vault and the hacking is pretty tough, at least compared to previous heists. So in this video, I'm gonna cover it, and I'm gonna make sure that you never fail a hack or hit a laser again, okay? Maybe I can't confirm that you're never gonna hit a laser again, but you should be a lot more consistent after this. Now, if this video does help you out, if it helps you get through the Kortz Center Heist, please do leave a thumbs up and subscribe if you want to see more stuff like this. Also, if anything else in this heist is confusing you, comment down below what other types of videos you want to see, all right? Let's jump in first things first. Let's talk about the hacks. There's two main types of hacks in this heist that are confusing people. The first one is the fingerprint cloner. Now, this has been in the game for years. I know a lot of people are pretty confident with it. The answer is you kind of just need to get used to all of the different fingerprints. What I will do, though, is put a cheat sheet on the screen for all of the different fingerprints that you can get. Just pause the video and take a screenshot of these. And it really just comes down to memorizing these fingerprints, all right? Let's talk about the dot hack. This is definitely the more difficult one. And a lot of people don't quite understand the correct method to do it. There is a very easy method that will pretty much guarantee you never fail it again. So on normal mode, you're gonna have to remember 5 dots 3 times. And on hard mode, you'll have to remember 6 dots 4 times. Now, sometimes I can do all of these at once without, ever worrying about it. But sometimes the memory starts to fade, okay? And it can be tough, so here's the foolproof method on how to never fail it. Again, let's go. Now, obviously, it's gonna flash up. The dots that you're gonna need to remember 3 times in a row at the end, right? It'll do beep, beep, beep. It's the wrong one and then beep, beep, beep on the sequence you need to remember. Let's use the hard mode variant here, because this is more tough. What I'm doing here is I'm not trying to remember all 6 of these dots. I'm only trying to remember the first 3. You should be able to do that every single time. So here I go, I enter the 3 dots done. Now we're going to use the AI scramble feature. You press triangle on PlayStation. I believe it will be Y on Xbox. I don't know what the button is. On PC, it'll be down the bottom of your screen. And what that's going to do is flash up all of them again. So once you enter the first 3 dots like I did here, I scramble and then all I need to do is remember the last 3 dots. So if you do this every single time, you should never really fail it, right? Now, one thing you do need to know is that using the AI, scramble does use up 1 fail attempt, but you do have enough to do these once per sequence. And because technically you should never really fail, if you only have to remember 3 dots at a time, then there shouldn't be an issue. And ever since I've been using this technique, I haven't failed it once. So this is going to be the best method, okay? Now it's time to talk about the real tough heart of the heist. And I'm not talking about the enemy because that can be annoying. We're talking about lasers, though, okay? I've done this heist about 10 to 15 times now. And I've seen 3 different combinations of lasers. If there are more that I haven't seen, comment down below, I'll make another video. But we're gonna go over the 3 sets of lasers that I've seen so far. 2 on normal and then 1 hard mode, which can be really tough. Let's go over the sequence first. This is the one where it's sort of going in waves. And then the middle section of it is diagonal. I don't know how to describe these lasers. As you probably know, all lasers can be broken up into 3 different sections. There are 3 levers that will disable the previous section of the mazes. Once you get to it, so we're gonna go through each maze in 3 different sections per maze right now. You don't need to pull all 3 levers. If you wanna just race to the end and pull the lever at the end, that will disable the whole maze. You can do that. But we're gonna be taking this to get you to understand how to actually do each part, because it can be tough. Now, in some of this footage as well, you're gonna see me switch to first-person mode. This is because certain parts of the maze I find easier in first person. It's up to you how you do it, though, okay? First things first here. The first section of this sort of diagonal maze. These lasers are going to be weaving in and out, going back and forth. All you need to do is wait until this gap opens up. Just run directly for the lever and pull it. That's the first section done. For the second section of this maze, you're going to have to weave in and out of 2 diagonal lasers. Well, there's also vertical lasers going from left to right. This one's kind of easier than it looks at first. All you need to do is duck under the right side of this laser, and I find it easier to sort of sit on the right side. Here, as you're walking towards the left wall, just follow 1 laser to the end. Move slightly to the left, let it switch around, and then just duck under the diagonal laser again. Then you guessed it, you gotta go to the right wall again. So the same sort of thing. There's gonna be 2 lasers coming back and forth towards you. Just weave in and out of them. Try not to panic if you stay calm. It's a lot easier than it actually looks. Then you just hit the lever. And that section of the maze is done. 1 to go now for the final third of this maze again. It's a lot easier than it actually looks. And I'll show you how to do it. This won't be a problem ever. What you want to do is pretty much get as close to the lasers as possible. Here, you're gonna see two different sequences of lasers coming towards you. One of them looks like a cross that you can duck under, and the other one is one that you're meant to jump over. Let me just tell you now, the jumping mechanic in this maze is very difficult. Honestly, I don't like it. I don't know why. The game doesn't just let us jump normally. But yeah, anyway, we want to avoid jumping at all costs, because this is so inconsistent, so frustrating, and most of the time you're gonna fail. So what we want to do is, we want to get as close to the lasers here as possible. Wait until the laser that we're meant to jump over comes towards us and disappears. The split second that laser starts to disappear, start running straight. You'll see the cross spawn again at the end here and start coming towards us. You're gonna want to duck under that and then start moving as quick as you possibly can. If you do that, you should get to the end before the jump. Laser comes again, and that's that laser done all right. Let's move on to our second set of normal mode lasers. In my opinion, this is the easiest set, but we're gonna go through it anyway. I'm gonna call this the X set of lasers, because there's a bunch of lasers that look like they're in the letter X, okay? Getting to the first lever on the left here. Very, very simple. Just walk through one of the X's here. Head to the left wall. Wait for these lasers that are going across horizontally to disappear. Wait for the vertical lasers to move to the right. Just walk through. Disable the laser easy for lever number 2. Just head pretty much all the way to the right side of the maze. Here, wait for this big wall of lasers coming on the right side. Go past you. Then we've got another one of these jump lasers. So walk right up to where this laser sort of stops. Wait for the laser on the ground to restart. Then you can pretty much just walk straight for the lever. Again, this is another set of lasers. That looks harder than it really is. Then for the final section, there's going to be one set of lasers coming towards you that you will need to duck under. I would just wait for that to get real close again. Wait for it to despawn and respawn at the end, then walk through duck under the lasers once. And you should be able to just walk through to the end. I definitely think that's the easiest set of lasers. If you agree, let me know. But now it's time to move on to the hard mode lasers. And these ones have killed me a lot, but thankfully I've figured out a way to make them pretty easy, to be honest. So let's show you how it's done. In this maze, there's a laser that you're supposed to jump over. That's going from the very end to the start of the maze. It goes across the whole thing. This laser is going to be our arch nemesis. I'll show you how to do this so that you actually never even need to jump over it. So to get to the first lever, we want to go pretty much to the left wall. Walk right up to the start of the maze, right where this sort of yellow and black warning strip is. Then wait for this ground laser to come to us and despawn the second it starts to despawn. You want to walk pretty much straight for the lever, just weaving in and out of any vertical lasers that are in your way. I find doing this in first person a lot easier. Not only because it's sort of easier to control your character, but also because your character will enter the animation to pull the lever quicker. Now that's going to be important here, because as soon as we pull this lever, we actually want to go back to the start of the maze and hop out of the maze again. But if you remember, that ground laser is going to be coming for us, so it can kind of be tight sometimes. But anyway, we want to avoid jumping over this thing at all costs because it's incredibly inconsistent. So pull the lever quick and get back to the start. Now, what we want to do for this second part is pretty much definitely go in first person, okay? You will want to be in first person for this bit. I'll show you why. So again, what you want to do is wait right at the end. Wait for that ground laser to come towards you and then start to despawn. The second it's just starting to despawn, run directly along this right wall. There's going to be one set of lasers coming towards you. Just duck under those, and then as quick as you can, walk forward and pull the lever. That's not only going to despawn all of the lasers behind you, but also the ground laser that's coming across the entire maze. And you do have to do this bit pretty quick. But the reason I recommend doing it in first person is not only because your character is easier to control, and maybe even a little bit quicker, but also because this seemingly makes it a lot more forgiving. If you get hit by the lasers, so I'm going to play this section again with sound, and let me know what you notice. Yeah, when I started to stand up, I actually did hit the lasers a little bit. But because I was in first person, the game's a bit more forgiving. And the game didn't even care, okay? Now it's time to move on to the final section. And this part is honestly pretty easy. Again, this looks a lot harder than it actually is. What you're gonna want to do is walk right up to the lasers again and wait for this next ground laser. There is one more ground laser. Wait for this one to come towards you. And again, wait for it to start to despawn. As soon as it starts to despawn, there will also be a gap through the middle. And you're gonna want to run and then either left or right side. Right through to the end of the maze, and there you go. You made it through the hard mode lasers. So there you go. I hope that video helped you out. I know these lasers and the hacks can be a bit confusing. It's definitely one of the harder heists in the game, to be honest. The Kortz Center Heist, so if that did help you out, please do leave a thumbs up. Consider subscribing if you want to see more stuff like this. Stay safe, guys, and I will see you in the next video.